welcome to the Beauty Shaman. So we are here. It is mid-August 2022 when I'm filming this, and we are talking about fall 2022 beauty makeup trends. So one of the best makeup trends that's kind of here, and I love it, is skin. So they really want to see skin. Now for some of you that's sort of terrifying because it's like, what do I do with my age spot and feel like I'm all old, and right? This is kind of our self-talk that we tell ourselves. So how can we take this look of the skin, right, really showing our skin off, and at the same time hiding what we don't want people to have stand out as much, and really highlighting our best qualities, because that's really what I'm all about. I'm not about trying to make you into something that you're not and saying this is a trend, you have to fit this trend, or trying to make you into something that you're not comfortable with. I want you to feel beautiful. I want you to feel like you're yourself, your best and highest self. That's always my aim with all of my videos, for all of you, is I want you to be the best you can be. And also, just so you know, I don't use any injectables like Botox or fillers or plastic surgery, so that you know what I'm talking about, that I use actually, this is what it looks like, right? I'm not pulling any punches here. I'm being very real with you. All right, so let's do beauty trend. Before we do that, please visit my website at thebeautyshamanstore.com and sign up for my newsletter for insider deals and discounts and fun things. I do lives sometimes, which is really awesome. You can ask me questions. So do go in and sign up for that. And also please hit the subscribe button here on YouTube in order to be alerted every time I upload a video. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so for starters, we are dealing with skin, right? We really want our skin to look great. So what I'm gonna do, just to start off with, is I'm gonna put a little bit of hyaluronic acid on my skin, because what that does is it instantaneously plumps up your skin. It's fabulous. Hyaluronic acid is definitely something, if you want that sort of plumped out look, it is a great go-to. It is an organic substance, so we're not talking about putting a bunch of toxic chemicals on your skin, which I love. All right, so I'm gonna put 2 pumps of hyaluronic acid. This is Truth Treatments hyaluronic acid. And I'm going to do 2 squirts of Biomimetic Mist, which helps with the efficacy to get it beneath the dermis layer in your skin. That's where the rubber meets the road with skincare, is does it get beneath the dermis layer? Most products are so weak as to barely give you any difference when it comes to your skin when you put it on. So you have to be sure you get good quality things in order for the ingredients to be rich and for it to get beneath the dermis layer and actually have an effect on your face. All right, love this stuff. Oh my God. Okay, because it's skin, I'm gonna do a little primer. This is Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Primer. Really love primers. It helps keep your makeup on longer. Whoops, it still has the little thingy on it. All right, so primer keeps your makeup on longer. It also, so if makeup tends to disappear on your skin, this is definitely a really good product. I love Jane Iredale, by the way. This also gives your skin that lovely dewy look to it, which I love. I love a little bit of a dewy finish on older skin. I don't like that matted out look, even when matte is in. Don't do it on older women. Really love the more of a skin kind of a look. Okay, so we are doing a skin look. So the foundation that we use, we're gonna just spot use it. We're not gonna use it all over our face. Unless you're like me and I have a lighter face than I do a neck, then you kind of have to darken up. I always have to darken my skin just a little bit because I use a lot of sunblock because I'm outside all the time. So I'm gonna use the Soft Focus, sorry, this is a little bit loved, Soft Focus Foundation by Vapor. I love this. This is my new favorite foundation. It's non-toxic clean beauty. I use it on talent in front of the camera. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Face Atelier bronzer. So this is one of the ways that I kind of modulate my color of my foundation, so I don't have to buy like 5 different colors, even though I have 20,000 different colors of foundation. This is kind of how I do it. So I've already blended it on my hand, and I'm going to use it around my eyes. So I'm just going to use this in the T-zone, and I'm using my hand, and I put this on my eyelid. Many of you won't. And I'm just going to put it around my eye in my T-zone. Okay, so I've put that on very sheer. As you can see, this is not a full coverage foundation. For those of you who like full coverage foundations, this is definitely not the time of year for that. It's because it's going for more of a sheer look. Unless you're sort of hooked on your full coverage, I would say most older women should not use full coverage. I definitely like more of a light to medium, although I know some of you love full coverage and that's great, and if you do, that's fine. But this is definitely more of a sheer, I'd say it's a sheer to medium coverage, but because I've watered it down with a little bit of bronzer, it's a much more sheer look. And then I'm going to take a little concealer. So this is my Kojendo. This is not under the Clean Beauty heading, but I do love this concealer. So not everything I use is Clean Beauty. And I'm going to just take out the bad boy right there. So I just touch it. Definitely help to take it out. And I love that. It just kind of diffuses it so it's not as noticeable. I don't try to totally cover most of these things. I just take them down a notch. So I think it looks more natural in everyday light. It's different in a studio, right, where I could layer it a lot more, but not out in the daylight. So, okay, so I'm going to leave my concealer for the very last. Because I'm going to do some eyeshadow and it's going to fall a little bit around my eye. All right, next we're going to do a little bit in my eyebrows. So now it's all about skin and it's all about eyes and eyebrows. So I'm going to fill in my eyebrows because strong brows are still in, and I'm going to make them a little bit more defined. I have a good amount of eyebrow, but I do have some gaps. So I'm going to use, this is by Glossier. This is called Brown Flick. This is just to fill in my eyebrows. You can use pencils, you can use eyeshadow. I've done whole videos on eyebrows, so I'll put that up in the corner. But I'm just going to lightly sort of shape these a little bit more. Okay, so now I have very strong brows, but it's all going to balance out in the long run here. So you kind of have to stay with me on this. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of concealer on my eyelids because as you can see, my eyelids are different colors and sometimes concealer can take that out. You can also use an eye primer. Okay, and I also put just a little bit of powder on top just so that my eyeshadow doesn't crease. All right, so today with the eyeshadow, I'm going to use Jane Iredale's Storm Chaser because we're seeing a lot of purples and glitter. So you can see this has some glittery bits in here as well as a little bit of purple in there for the fall. So this works beautifully for that. And I'm excited to use this. I haven't used this very much, so I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to use a MAC. Again, not everything I use is non-toxic clean beauty, but this is called Teddy. So this is a lovely brown. So, you know, I have a black in the palette that I'm going to use just to make the eyeshadow a little bit stronger. Okay, so these are the lashes with the beautiful Storm Trooper Chaser palette from Jane Iredale. I love this. I think it's totally appropriate for fall. As you can see, my eyes are very dramatic. That is the look that's in, is to have much more drama going on in your eyes. So I did false lashes. Obviously, you don't have to do that. Many of you have the lashes that are glued on that I don't do that. I prefer to use false lashes. In any case, this is kind of the look. Now, I did want to share with you one thing I did while I had the camera off, and that was that I did this lovely bright silver right there, just right here in the corner of my eye. And it's a fun little trick. Helps to open your eye up just a little bit more. And you just have to use a little bit. But see what that does? Kind of fun, right? I also took a little bit of this pink right here and used it to blend just the top portion. So you can see there's a little bit of rose right there, and that just blends it all together. So I used every single color in this palette. Okay, so moving on, let's do some concealer around my eyes. So I'm going to use again my Kojando concealer, and because I put so much around my eyes, I'm going to just touch it. And many of you use too much concealer. Please check out my concealer video up in the corner. I'm going to use a little bit in the outer edge here, and a tiny bit in my brow bones. This is just to use it as a highlighter. Be sure you're using a really good concealer if you do this though, because otherwise it's going to set in fine lines. Okay, so I'm done with my concealer. So you can see I still have the skin look, like you can really see my skin, but I've definitely taken out my circles and I've brightened up the whole eye area so that it's a skin look with a strong eye makeup look. All right, so I'm gonna use a little bit of powder. This is MAC blot powder, it's called. I like it because it's a very, very sheer powder, and I'm just gonna put it around my eyes, just because I think this gets a little distracting in the camera. Okay, next we're going to do lips, and then I'm going to do cheeks after. So I'm going to do lips. I'm going to do this lovely Vapor. Again, I'm really into Vapor right now. I love their stuff. So this is a very, very sheer gloss. Because we've done so much on the eyes, the look for fall trend is skin, lots of eyes, and more sheer lip, or that really strong red lip, which I'll be doing with very little on everything else, but still that skin look. I am going to do a little bit of lip liner. This is Jane Iredale called Nude. It's a lovely, just a brownie color. I love this because I'm going to make my lips look a tiny bit bigger. All right, I'm going to use a little bit of a cream blush. This is by MAC. This is called So Natural. And I'm going to put it on with my finger. All right, if you want, many of you use contour or bronzer kind of on your, just under your cheekbone, just to warm it up. You can definitely do that. I'm not seeing a ton of bronzer. It used to be like heavy duty bronzer or contour to really bring out the cheeks. It's not so much that way right now. And especially if you have a thin face, I would say really avoid too much in here because it makes you look more thin. I have a pretty thin face, but I am going to do a little bit of bronzer. This is Vapor. Again, Vapor. I'm totally into Vapor. I love their bronzer. This is lovely. It's a wonderful color. Comes in different shades for different skin tones, as I know not all of you are my skin tone. I'm just going to put a little bit here just to warm it up, just a little bit. Okay, so this is fall 2022, my first makeup look that I'm doing of fall 2022, which is more skin, lots of skin, strong eyes, and more of a sheer lip. I will do one that's the stronger lip with the more of a lighter eye, not quite so dramatic. But anyway, I hope you like this. Please write down below. I'd love to hear from you. I always respond. Thank you so much for watching The Beauty Shaman.